So he's determined not to stop the battle. So he's asking Sanjaya, and that is a confirmation. He's asking Sanjaya that when my children and the children of Pandu gather, what did they do? In other words, he's asking, will there be victory for my children? Will there be victory for my children? This first question in Bhagavad Gita, this is the first verse in the Bhagavad Gita. The answer is in the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita ends in 1878. 1878. That is the end of Bhagavad Gita. The rest subsidiary verses were spoken by Sanjaya as his opinions. Okay? But the last verse is Yatra Yogeswara Krishna Yatropato Danundara Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Duvaniti Mati Mama. That is the last verse. And that last verse is saying that, can somebody read the translation of the last verse? That wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is
Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion.
So can you see? Wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Arjuna, wherever there is Dharmaraj, Yudhishthira, whom they are fighting for, there will always be victory, because there cannot be victory for vices. There cannot be victory for inauspiciousness. There cannot be victory for evil over good. That is the meaning of that. There cannot be victory for evil over good. Victory will always be for good. Good over evil. This is the battle of good over evil. So that is the answer. The first question he asked is being answered in the last verse. This will tell you how systematic Bhagavad Gita is organized. And now, one thing again is afraid of is the place called Kurukshetra. I want to look for this. I'm looking for this at the same time. The place called Kurukshetra is a holy land. Kurukshetra is a holy land. So it's a holy land that once the king of the Kuru was Kuru. Kuru was the emperor of the world. And one day he was plowing that particular land known as Kurukshetra now. Kshetra means the land of the Kurus. So he was plowing the land. Then Indra came around and he was looking and said, you are a king. Is it your duty to be plowing land like this? So he tried to mock him so that he would stop doing what he was doing. Then Kurukshetra, the Kuru did not mind him. He said, I decided to do it. So when Indra left, he continued to do. Then more demigods gathered. People gathered. And finally, they said, since he's determined to do it, let me give him blessing. So Indra gave him a blessing that anyone that leaves his body in this land, on this land, is going to attain Swaga. Swaga means the heavenly planets, because Indra cannot offer what he doesn't have. He cannot offer the spiritual world, but he can offer what he has. Indra can give you up to heaven, but not beyond. So he said, anyone who leaves his body here is going to attain Swaga, the heavenly planets. So that blessing of Indra remains. And we also remember that around Kurukshetra, Parasuram dug about 5 wells. 5 wells that whoever bathed on inside those wells will also attain liberation. And that is an attunement to his activity of killing the Kshatriya races 21 times. He dug those wells. Anybody who dip themselves inside will attain liberation from there. Then there are so many other significant things around Kurukshetra. So Kurukshetra is marked as a holy land. So Dhritarashtra was afraid of the influence of the holy land, because the people he's fighting with, they represent good, while he is representing evil and dissension. So how can evil win over good, especially when the battleground is a holy land? So this was his concern, one of his concerns, secret fear. You see? So he was asking, he want to know from Sanjaya, will there be victory for my children? In promoting dualistic mentality, he was asking, will there be victory for my children? So this is the first. After we're going to see, in your own understanding, could there be victory for Dhritarashtra?
No.
There cannot be victory for Dhritarashtra because all the forces are against him. All the forces of goodness are against him. So there cannot be victory for him. But he was thinking, based on external calculations, the type of army he has, the strength of Bismarck, Drona, all these powerful great generals. He was doing external calculation. So he was thinking that, yes, on the strength of that, evil can triumph. The evil forces are so strong against the forces of goodness. He didn't know that God is the source of the forces of goodness. Though he's the source of both forces, but he's in favor of goodness. And whoever Krishna favors, nobody can defeat. And wherever Krishna is on a side, there can be no victory for the opposing side. Dhritarashtra was blinded by selfishness. So he did not recognize this. So he's asking, will there be victory for my children? You see? First of all, yes, that is it. So let's see what happened. Having gathered on the battlefield, what was the scenario? There is drama, there is everything, there is art, there is everything there on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So what next? Unless somebody has a question, if you have a question, you can ask. Otherwise, Dharmashetra is explained and some historical background is given. And the forces of good over evil, and how the Pandavas represent good, and the Kauravas represent evil. And let us see the next verse. Pandit, please, for your information, Madhav is a Pandit. Oh. Wherever I see Madhav, I'm happy to let Madhav read the slokas, because Madhav is endowed with the talents, with the voice. Once you hear Madhav's voice, you should be able to know immediately that this person is a pujari. This person is a pujari. The meters with which he chants the mantras, the clarity of voice, the vocal quality, everything is pujaric. So I enjoy Madhav's reading of slokas very much. Yes. You remember in the Nectar of Instruction, when Kavichandra Maharaj used that tune, that tiger tune, the play of a tiger, when he used that tune to chant the long mantra, and he threw it to everybody who said, okay, others will chant. Others tried. But when Madhava chanted, he closed everything. No need for another person to chant. So when he chanted it, I said, who is that person? Then I look at Trace and I saw that it was Madhav. It is not a joke. And you can see how he chanted the first mantra also. And that is exactly Madhav. So Madhav Prabhu knocked the second third for us also.
Verse 2. 2. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtva to Pandavane Vyodam Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasagamya Raja Vachamamabravid.
Translation and purpose.
O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Purport. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. Sanjaya wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king, and thus assured him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son, Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician, but Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas.
Hare Krishna. So, this is the situation. Sanjaya, in response, wanted to encourage Dhritarashtra that his son would not make any compromise, because he was thinking, based on the external calculation, that since we have all these great generals, Marathis, the Marathi is one who can fight with 11 Aksuinis, 11 phalanx, thousands of soldiers. One person can fight with thousands and thousands of soldiers at the same time. And he had people like Marathis like Bhismadev, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Aswatthama, plenty of them. So he was very sure that he was going to win. He was 100% sure that he was going to win the battle. So for that, he didn't want his children to make any compromise. He didn't want them to make a compromise. Make it to cover the screen. Slideshow full screen. He didn't want them to make any compromise. No picture, slideshow. Slideshow. You are going too far. Okay.
Is this okay, bro?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, back then. Okay. So he was not going to make, they were not going to make any compromise because he himself didn't want them to compromise. So Sanjaya, knowing his mind, he tried to reveal to him that yes, his sons are not going to make any compromise. So don't fear. They are there. Okay. He encouraged him. The calculation was material calculation. Since these great generals are there, how many of them can Bhima stand Bhishma? Can Arjuna stand Bhishma or Drona? Drona is his teacher. Can he beat him? No. Drona taught him. He will teach him, but he will not teach him everything. There are some things that are only known to Drona, not to Arjuna. So don't be afraid. I don't want compromise. I don't want my children to agree. They should not stop. They should make sure they do these fights. So he was covered, his mental space was covered by envy, jealousy, and greed. So he was determined. Then Sanjaya has to let him know. But the second point there is that Duryodhana himself is a very great diplomat. Very great diplomat, to the extent that he knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly what to do at that point, what to say, how to say it, so that the Kshatriyas' egos will not be pricked. He didn't want to prick the egos of the Kshatriyas. Because when you talk of generals, like Bhishma is a general. Dronacharya is a general. Kripacharya is a general. These are big general. Kana is there. Is a general also. Aswatthama is a general. So in the midst of plenty generals, if you go glorifying one general over the others, Kshatriyas, their ego is very high. They will feel insulted. So you recognize this one as a general over me. Then, of course, I will keep quiet. I will fold my hand. Let him show his strength. Then when his own strength is exhausted, at that time, I will come. That is how Kshatriyas react to a situation of ego. They will fold their hands. Since you are glorifying, you recognize this one over me, let him go and try his prowess. When he finishes all his energy, then I will come in. I want to start my own chapter clean. Let them know, everybody know that I'm the one that started. I want to know my beginning point. I want to know my ending point. This is how Kshatriyas think. So Duryodhana was so diplomatic, so qualified as a diplomat. So he knew if he selects Bhishma as the first commander of his army, then Drona might be offended because technically Drona is a Brahmana, while Bhishma is a Kshatriya. So he employed his intelligence. But in terms of age, Bhishma was older, but he said, if you appoint Bhishma over Drona, the higher class, which is Drona, might take offense. So immediately he looked at the Vanas, then he appointed Drona as his first general. He recognized that all of them were generals, but he made that situational analysis, then appointed Drona, who is also a general and is a Brahmana, as the first commander. So this is the diplomacy, and therefore it is mentioned in the purport that Duryodhana is therefore qualified to rule. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, he still had to go to the commander and on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. He was afraid. Then he has to take a humble position, approach his generals first, recognize them. He has not appointed who to be, but he has recognized their presence, take permission from them, taking a humble position before them because he saw the seriousness. And another point again that is not very clear there, clearly mentioned there, is that he knew that Bhishma Dev was actually in love with the Pandavas. he knew that Bhishma Dev was seriously in love with the Pandavas because Bhishma is a devotee. Don't forget, he's one of the 12 Mahajans. He's one of the 12 Mahajans. And he was in love with the Pandavas, though circumstantially he found himself in the palace and he has promised to support whoever is the king. That's one of the reasons why he didn't talk about any injustice, even when they were insulting Draupadi. And one of the reasons he didn't talk anything was that during the time of his celibacy, when he took the vow of celibacy, they were also thinking, so, but if your children come in the future, they may like to claim the throne. So he would say he's not going to give birth to any child also. And in addition, he said that anybody that comes to the throne, he is going to give him full support. Though he did not know that wicked persons like Drodan will become kings, but he has already given that promise. And as a Kshatriya, he has to stand by his promise. So that's one of the reasons why he did not say anything when they were trying to insult Draupadi. And also the second reason was that he knew that since Draupadi is a pure devotee of the Lord is always there for his devotees. He knew that Krishna will incarnate, he will appear to save his devotee. So he himself was a pure devotee, a Mahajan. They knew that Krishna will appear, he will not allow his devotee to be disgraced. It is when you start to take responsibility for yourself that Krishna will now stay aside for you to show your strength. So he knew that if he stay out of the way, Krishna will definitely appear to save the situation. So these are subtle reasons why he kept quiet. So don't blame Bhishma too much when you come to that aspect. Bhishma was aware as a self-realized soul who was a Paka devotee, pure devotee of Narayan. So that is the situation. So Duryodhana's diplomacy is going to be more exhibited in his dealings with his armies that are gathered. Don't forget, we are in the battlefield. Big battle is about to take place, and in the midst of other bigger Mahajans than him who are now acting under his rulership. So he's playing the diplomacy, and it's qualified that Duryodhana is actually a very great diplomat, qualified to be a king. A king should be diplomatic. So read the next verse again. Okay. So yes, I've seen the place in the previous passage. Duryodhana, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to inform him of the real position. And let me say something again about about Dronacharya. Actually, how Dronacharya came about. Dronacharya actually was a schoolmate friend of Drupada. He was a schoolmate friend of Drupada. And Drupada was a king, but they were in the same school. So they were very good friends. And out of friendliness, Drupada promised that anything they have, they will share it with him equally. So after school, Dronacharya went and he grew up, he married, and he had a son. And he was very poor. He was a Brahmana, very, very poor. So while Drupada was a king, very opulent king in his kingdom. So one day, his son, who had not even seen what milk look like, because of the poverty, a poor person will not think of drinking milk. If he sees water, it's okay. He drinks the water and is satisfied with it. So one day he saw some of his neighbors drinking milk. I said, what is that white substance that those people are drinking? Mama, I'm interested though. Can I get some of it? He wanted that white water also, but Mama said, we don't have it. Oh. Then Dronacharya had it. His father had it. And he pitied for the son. He felt very bad. So he decided to arrange for some milk for him. So he needed a cow. He did not even have a cow. He was so poor that he did not even have a cow. So he went to his old schoolmate friend to go and ask for some assistance. And as he got there, he was very happy that he went to his friend who is now a king. And he saw him, oh, welcome. Hey, my friend, how are you? This is a poor man going to beg for a rich man. You're calling him my friend. He immediately cut him short. Say, hold it there. Just hold it there. Who is your friend? Friendship is made among equals. But you when we're in school, that was school talk now. I'm a king. You are a poor, wretched Brahmana. How are we friends? So he felt so insulted and he left the place with the intention of retaliating. So he was walking around, moving, thinking of this. How can he retaliate this insult by his schoolmate? So he came across a field at the outskirts of their kingdom, the kingdom of the Kurus. And he saw these royal children, both the Kuravas and the Pandavas. They were playing ball there. And the ball, somehow or the other, fell into a well, deep well, and the children were stranded. And he found himself there. Tall man appeared and said, hey, children, what is the problem? You having any problem to solve? What is it? Oh, they're not. Papa, look, our ball, we're playing ball. The ball fell inside the well. And what are we going to tell our parents? We need the ball back. How can we do? Oh, they said, oh, you children, you don't know. This is a small thing. I can bring it out. You are children, you don't know anything. You don't know how to bring it out. That's a small problem. So he brought out his bow. He shot an arrow. In fact, he took some grass, he shot it as an arrow, and it went to pin on the ball. He shot another one, he joined it, he shot another. Before he realized, he has created a rope of grass sticking to the ball, and he just pulled it up, take the ball. Say, what? How come? The children were so excited. This is a miracle. Are you a demigod? They don't know. They ran back to the palace. And immediately, they go and inform Bhishma, breathing heavily. We saw a tall man. We're playing ball. The ball fell into the well. And this man, he shot one arrow. The arrow pinned on the ball. They described the whole scenario.
Sorry,
And
milk or bottle of water?
Yes. Let me take my diplomatic team. Thank you for reminding me. You are very clever. You always remind me at the right time for the right purpose. Balabadraki. Yeah. So in that way, immediately Bhishma said, oh, who can do this? Only a disciple of Parashuram can do this, because Bhishma was a disciple of Parashuram also. And, Drona was a disciple too. So that must be Drona. Tall guy, Kshatriya, built, well built. That is Drona. So go and bring him here. He brought Drona to the palace. Yes, brother, Dandavat, the start offering obeisance and embracing. I said, what is happening? No, they narrated the stories. I said, then Bhishma suggested, can you please become a teacher of our children? Because these are the future leaders. They need a qualified teacher like you. Can you become the teacher? immediately accepted because that's what he was looking for. Now he has opportunity to have hundreds of cows. Within a short time, he was employed, he was given an apartment, and he has to bring his wife and children to the palace. And before he realized, his son was drinking milk like anything. Every day, his son was drinking that white water. And much more. The water and Wagashida follows it. The son was enjoying everything that he had not seen before. Before he realized, Drona became very, very happy. Also, his wife became very elegant. Everything they are functioning on a higher level now. So after teaching these royal children, it was time for Guru Dakshina. Because after you learn lesson from a teacher, you have to give what is called Guru Dakshina, which is also part of this our course. At the end of the course, you have to give Guru Dakshina. If you don't give Dakshina, I will take it easy. If you don't give Dakshina, it will be difficult for you to utilize what you learn. And the Pujari among us here, Madhav, he knows this very well. Madhav Prabhu, can you tell us a little about the benefit of giving Dakshina? Abeg, share with us.
Yes, Guru Dakshina is not a payment, it's an appreciation, telling your teacher that what you have acquired, the knowledge you have acquired, you are grateful. And the teacher releases blessings so that what you have learned, you will be able to make use of it, especially when needed or at crucial times. So that is Guru Dakshina.
Oh, thank you very much. That's enough. That explanation is 100% enough. So we don't need to say anything about it again. Let's leave it suspended. But meditate on it and do the needful when the time comes. So it was time for these royal children to give Dakshina. And actually, among all of them, Arjuna was the best. So, because Arjuna is called savvy assassin, he can shoot with both hands, both right and left is ambivalent. He can use both right and left, shooting accurately. And he can even shoot at night and get the target. Just by hearing the sound, he can shoot at the target and he gets it. So he has extraordinary, abilities, extrasensory perception connected to the Kshatriya military art. So he was a special student. Immediately they went, this one brought cow, they brought this, they brought that, said, take all these things away. This is not what I want. Then Gurudev, what do you want? Guruji, what do you want? What do you want now? What? He said, oh, all what I want is go and capture Drupada alive. I want Drupada alive. Don't forget, he wanted to retaliate, and this is the opportunity. He has trained disciples that are equal to the task. So immediately they went there. Arjuna said, everybody wait, I will do it single-handedly. Before you realize, Arjuna engaged Drupada in a duel. Before you realize, Arjuna captured him alive. Arjuna was on top of his chariot. He captured him like a lion and brought him straight to Drona. To Drona. Say, Drupada reached there. He said, so Drona, so this is your handwork, isn't it? So you are retaliating, you are deciding to humiliate me like this. Okay. So immediately Drona divided the kingdom into two and took one half as he promised before when they were in school. You cannot joke with your promises to a Brahmana. So he helped him to pay that promise and become free from it. But it was painful to Drona, to Drupada. So Drupada went, performed Jagya seriously with the intention of getting a lady that will marry, a girl that will marry Arjuna in appreciation for his prowess, and also a son that will kill Drona. So he got Dhristadyumna and Drupadi. So later we heard of how Drupadi got married to Arjuna, and it was Drishtadyumna who actually killed Drona on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Everything came to pass. So it is this type of person we are talking of, this Drona, who is the army, the general of the army of Duryodhana. You see? So it's not a small army that is gathered here. There's so many things are involved. So as we read on, we see. The next verse, read it. Pujari, read the next verse also, before we share it.
Verse 3 and 4.
Verse 3 and 4, yeah, read the 3 first.
Pashyetam panduputranam acharya mahatinchamo vyodam dropada putrena tava visyesena dhimata. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Do we take the purports or just only the verses?
Read the purport.
Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana, commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of the quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadyumna took the side of the Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx. After having learned the art from Dronacharya, Dronacharya pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Dronacharya also warned that such leniency in fight would lead to defeat.
Sorry, Duryodhana also warned. No, we do not share. Duryodhana also warned. Sorry to Duryodhana share. Just look at it very well. You are calling Dronacharya and Dronacharya want Dronacharya. Duryodhana want Dronacharya.
Sorry.
Start from Duryodhana pointed out.
Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya's so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna, especially, was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in the fight would lead to defeat.
Okay, you can see Duryodhana is expert, is taking note of all the subtle situational components. That actually Dronacharya was the teacher of the Pandavas also. And Drupada also sent his son to come and learn under Drona, even though Drona had become, determined to kill him. And he performed austerity to get Dhristadyumna so that Dhristadyumna will kill Drona. And he sent him to go and learn under Drona. And Drona still accepted him because he was very magnanimous. Dronacharya was magnanimous. And he accepted Dhristadyumna as one of his students, even though he knew that in the future, Dhristadyumna will kill him. So now Dhristadyumna is on the part of the Pandavas, on the side of the Pandavas. So Duryodhana is warning him, drawing him attention. Look, these great personalities they are your students. Don't be lenient to them in battle. If even more so, I know how affectionate you are to Arjuna. Arjuna is on the other side, or he's not fighting on your side. So don't be lenient to your student, Don't be lenient to your student, If you do so, you know the consequences. They will defeat us and we'll lose everything. Don't be lenient. Okay? Okay, that is it. So we already talked about it, the background. And the story of Dronacharya is already been related. But there is one aspect of Arjuna I wanted to talk about again also. Because Arjuna is not just only the disciple of Dronacharya. Arjuna actually pleased Lord Shiva in a duel. And Lord Shiva gave him a special weapon called Pasupata in appreciation for his prowess. So Arjuna is seriously qualified. He's a disciple of Drona. He is in possession of the Pasupata. And he also went to the heavenly planets. And when the Nila Kavachas were attacking Indra, Indra is his father. And he fought there and defeated all the enemies. So Indra also gave him his own weapon too. What was it? Was it Vajra? Yes, gave him his weapon, special weapon. And many other favors, And this Arjuna you are seeing, he had a lot of potencies. He has acquired different ashras from different people. And it's on the other side of the battle. And also before the battle, the last year of their exile, they were not supposed to be seen by the Kauravas, because if the Kauravas see them, they will send them back to exile again. So towards the end of their year in incognito, they were in the kingdom of Virat. And Virat was engaged in some battle on some other sides, and all the generals were there battling. Then, immediately, as a matter of diplomacy, they wanted to expose the Pandavas so that they would send them again into another exile. So they calculated and they went to attack, the Kauravas went to attack Virat kingdom because they suspected that the Pandavas were there. They went to attack the kingdom from while they were engaged in another battle. They attacked from this side. So they didn't know what to do. That time, the Pandavas were living in disguise. They were not to be known as the Pandavas for that day. So for that time, so in the palace of Virat, Bhima was the cook. Yudhishthira was like an advisor to the king. But Arjuna was teaching dancing to the queens and to the children, to the daughters of the king. So he was known as Brianala. He was known there as Brianala. So his duty was there. They only knew him as a very good dancer who knows all that, but they did not know that he was Arjuna. So when this attack came, Uttara Kumara was there, and he was supposed to fight on behalf of his father. But he was afraid when he had names like Drona, Bismarck, this, that, all these big names. Kana, he said, no, he's going to fight. If only he had a charioteer, if he had somebody to drive his chariot, he can fight as a charioteer. He was boasting. So he said, but then immediately Yudhishthira said, but Brianala is a very good charioteer now. Say Brianala, who is a dancer here, how is he a good charioteer? He said, he's a good charioteer. I'm telling you, he's my brother. So we say, okay, Hodge, let me, Brianala, will come and drive the chariot for him and let him go attack and defend his kingdom. So Arjuna went at the charioteer of Uttara Kumara. So when they went to see the battlefield, they see Drona, Bhisma, all the Mahajans on the Kuru side. Immediately Uttara Kumara became overwhelmed with fear and he wanted to run away from the battle. He got down from the chariot, Arjuna ran after him and got hold of him. You are not running away. A Kshatriya should not run away from battle. A Kshatriya should not run away from battle. So he captured him and brought him back. Then said, how can I fight with great men like Bhisma? I beg, please, you have seen them. All my body is shivering. I'm going to urinate on my body if care is not taken. So he said, is that so? So you are so afraid? I, Brianala, I will do the fighting. You become my charioteer. I will fight. He said, how can you fight with these people? He said, look, I am Arjuna. I am Arjuna. Let me tell you. Are you Arjuna? If you are Arjuna truly, tell me the 10 names of Arjuna. Immediately, Arjuna recited all his 10 names. When he said, hey, truly you are Arjuna? He said, yes. Okay, then there is hope. Immediately, he pointed to the Sami tree. But when they were going in exile, they hid all their weapons in a kind of box, like coffin. They made it like a coffin, put all their weapons inside. Then they climbed the tree, called Sami tree, one big tree, and they hid they go and hide the weapons there. They say, go to that Sami tree. That is where our weapons are. Immediately, he climbed up, brought down all the weapons, and they opened the coffin, and weapons were shining. Gandiva was there. Arjuna picked up his Gandiva, and he twanged it. Immediately, Drona said, that is Gandiva. That is Gandiva. That means the Pandavas are here. That is Gandiva. And only Arjuna can twing this weapon, Gandiva, like this. That means Arjuna is there. That is Arjuna. As they were thinking like this, Arjuna immediately shot 2 arrows. One fell at the feet of Bhisma, offering obeisances. Another one fell at the feet of Drona. Arjuna offered obeisances to the 2 of them. The lucky thing is that that time, the 1 year has already elapsed. The 1 year has already elapsed by the Vedic calculation. That was how they escaped. Otherwise, they would have gone back into exile again. Then immediately he greeted his teachers with arrows. Pa, pa. They said, that is Arjuna, that is great. Before he realized, Arjuna released different kinds of weapons. He pinned all their weapons, broke their weapons to pieces before they realized. He pinned Drona's weapons, the arrow against his chariot. Killed all the chariots, and in fact, he didn't wait for them. He sent another, he broke Bismarck's bow, a Drona, broke their bows, sent a special weapon, a special arrow into the air, and the thing turned into cloud and started coming down, and all of them started yawning. All the heroes on the other side started yawning and sleeping. They were sleeping on their chariot. They made like this. He released the weapon of yawning, and they were sleeping on top of their chariots. Bismarck and Co, Drona, all of them. Arjuna went there, collected all their upper garments, all their chadars, collected them, royal chadars. And he promised that to Uttara before he left. I will bring all their garments to you. And he went back and offered that. So this is the person you are going to fight with. So if you become merciful towards Arjuna, you are the teacher. You can destroy me. Only you can do it. Now, if you become merciful towards Arjuna, you endanger the whole of our army. So please, don't do that. And that was the warning of the diplomatic Durodan. Therefore, Durodan was a great diplomat. Yes, Dr. Brown.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I was just giving you a thumb up for the wonderful teaching. It's quite amazing. Pardon, Prabhu.
Is it?
I was giving you a thumb up for the amazing teaching. It's interesting. Carry on.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. May you remain blessed, Prabhu. So this is the background. This background is necessary because we are going to the Battle of Kurukshetra eventually. And it's the greatest battle, and everything is in the 18th. 18 actually, yes, 18 phalanxes. Bhagavad Gita is 18 chapters. Upanishads are 18. So many 18s. In the multiple of 9, good things happen. So anyway, this is the build-up. As we are going on, we are going to hear more about other heroes and what they could do. And I think today we will not go too far, but we'll go as far as possible. Maybe 30 minutes more, then we'll close for today. Okay, so in this way, on the screen, you can see the overview. You can see the overview of the chapter, that chapter verses 1 to 13 is talking about the preparations for war. All these things we are describing, the real war has not started. You know, all these things we are describing up to the point where Arjuna said, draw my chariot to the middle so that I can see those who are ready to fight in support of evil-minded Duryodhana. So 1 to 13, verses 1 to 13 are talking about the preparation. Then 14 to 20 are talking about the signs of victory. The signs of victory in favor of the Pandavas. And we are going to elaborate a lot on that when we get there. The 4 signs of victory. Then verses 19. Okay, my screen is not very clear. My screen is not very clear. 19 verses, that means from 28 to 16. From 28 to 16 are going to talk about Arjuna's doubt. What made Arjuna to doubt and eventually cast his weapon down. Jamasami, can you say the other one, because the screen, that side of my screen is dark.
The last one is 21 to 27.
Okay, 21 to 27. Huh? It's talking
Krishna
about
as Bhakta Vatsala.
Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. That is the next session before the last one, 28 to 46, Abi. I think 28 to 46 is the last one. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. I was not seeing that side, so I just mentioned it. This is the overview. This is the overview. That means it's divided into 4 sessions. And the first session is verses 1 to 13. And the second session is verses 14 to 20. And the third session is verses 21 to
21
27.
to 27.
Then the last one is 28 to 46. So this chapter has 46 verses. And we are going to go about it thematically. So we are in the first theme, preparations for war. And that's where we are. So let us read the next verse. And wherever we stop, you should go and read to the end of that particular theme. Then read the other theme in addition, so that if we are able to cross over we cross over and we deal with it. So definitely we are going to reach verses 20 in our next classes. So take notes. But for now, let us read verse 4. No lineage. Carry on. Carry on.
Atrasora Maheshwasa Bhima Jona Samayudi Yo Dhano Viratascha Dropadascha Maharataha. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yudhana, Virata, and Drupada. Purport. Even though Dhristadyumna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power in the military art, there were many others who were cause for fear. They are mentioned by Duryodhana as great stumbling blocks on the path of victory, because each and every one of them was as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna, and thus he compared the others with them.
Okay. So you can see how diplomatic Duryodhana is, how qualified he is. Because if you want to fight with an enemy, we should not be carried away by pride. If we want to fight with an enemy, don't underestimate your enemy. Don't be thinking only of what you can do. You have to meditate on what the enemy can do. Also, then you strategize on how to counter him before you overshadow him. So here, Duryodhana is recognizing the military strength, the capabilities of the opposing armies. It's recognizing the capabilities of the opposing armies. And this is a further qualification for Duryodhana being qualified as a king. Duryodhana is a qualified king because he knows the science of diplomacy. That is it. Whatever we are doing, we have to know how to estimate the strength of our opponent. Like as devotees now, we don't have opponents, but we have opponents. Our minds and our senses, for a start. Our minds and our senses, our immediate opponents. So we should know the strength of the mind and the senses, and we should strategize as evolving devotees on how to control the mind and the senses. There are certain things we should not start because everything starts with contemplation. We all know the 8 stages of fall down. There are 8 stages of fall down.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? Hello, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu's network has gone off. They've taken the light to their side and he was using the Wi-Fi. So the class will end here for today. So he suggests that everyone should read the remaining text of the remaining purports for text 4. And then we continue from text 5. But it's very okay if you read ahead of text 5 so that you can have more questions. Like I said, the class should be interactive so that when he talks, we have questions to ask him and other things. He asks questions, we should also try to answer. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much
Hare
for
Krishna, Mother.
coming.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mother.
Krishna, bro. Yes, Prabhu.
We have some network challenges here. I don't know whether the lecture is recorded, so you can send to us, so we can go over it again
The
because of.
the lecture is in the YouTube link, but I will send you the link. I've sent you the link before, Prabhu.
Thank you, thank you,
I've
thank you,
sent you
thank
the
you.
link before.
We have a lot of
Uh,
network challenges here.
okay, you can watch it at YouTube. Hare Krishna. And we should all try to subscribe to that YouTube channel so we can support
Okay.
the school. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Okay. No glories. Hare Krishna.